Hello, everyone. Welcome to High Voltage. I'm the camera guy. Here with me is NGW head official Scott Cross. And we had a heck of a weekend, didn't we, Scott?
Yep, Endless Winter came and went, and what a show we had.
Yeah, just absolutely incredible, unforgettable show. Let's go down real quick what happened. The night started off with an absolute banger match between Sid Holland and Logan Ridge. Those two were put in that match by co-CEO Jason Halbert because he said he wanted to just see them beat some sense into each other, but the match started out seeming like they were actually going to, well, not cooperate, but actually have a friendly competition. When you say, Scott?
Yep, and it was for the Wrestling for the Cure Heavyweight Championship. Wrestling for the Cure
Yes, it
was in the
was.
house, and I mean, yeah, they were going in just to show who's better in that one. I mean, it was a friendly competition.
Yeah, and then that match got interrupted when Jason Halbert and the Great Heathen Army came out and interfered with the match,
Yep,
which led into Jason Halbert on the spot making a match between uh, Great Heathen Army and Logan and Sid for the right to be the number one contender for the NGW Heavyweight Championship, or not Tag Team Championship, rather. I'm
yep,
sorry.
yep. They told Jason Halbert basically told the Great Heathen Army that if they win, they get to the front of the line for an NGW Tag Team Championship match.
Yep, and they actually pulled the win off after the Lightning Division champion Tobias Storm actually attacked Ridge behind your back with the
Yep.
Lightning Division championship.
Well, we had our guest tonight, Dir Kolthar, got involved with in the match and confronted Sid. Sid got out of the ring, was chasing after them. I tried to stop Sid. Sid basically shoved me to the side and allowed Tobias Storm to come in and hit that belt. I didn't see them. I turned around. It was a pinfall, so I went in the ring, and the Viking Raiders got a little upset victory over that.
The Great Heathen Army, you mean?
The Great Hit on Arm. Yes, sorry. Yeah, my
Yep.
my brain's
That's our, and then after that match, Dir Kolthar actually stayed out, and because he wanted to fight,
yep, he did.
and out
And there was
came Jerry Morgan.
which Jerry Morgan posted on Facebook that he was coming to NGW looking for a fight. He didn't care who he fought, and he found one.
Yeah, and you know what? I'd say he got the fight brought to him. He came out victorious in that battle,
Yep.
but yeah, Dir Kolthar, our guest tonight, put in quite the show. I'd say he almost had him.
Yeah, he almost did. He was in the corner getting ready to go for that spear, but that knee seemed to knock him completely off
Yeah.
and knock him out for the pinfall.
And then after that, we had the Lightning Division championship match between Tobias Storm and TJ Kellis. And that was an incredible high flying, high impact match. And TJ actually came away with the win on that one.
Yep. Well, we knew it was going to be a high flying match with TJ and Tobias. We knew TJ was going to bring everything. Especially with Halbert out there and all the distractions. But TJ was able to pull off the victory, but it was very, very short lived.
Yeah, I mean, Phoenix wasn't even able to get out the announcement of our new Lightning Division championship before Preacher came out and cashed in his right to fight contract.
Which we knew going into that match that Preacher had that right to fight for the Lightning Division. We just didn't know when he was going to capture it, when he was going to cash it in. And right when the match was over, we got our answer because Preacher's music hit and he came out and cashed in and became the new Lightning Division champion.
Yeah. So, I mean, TJ, poor guy, he never even got to hold the belt.
Yeah.
It was just, I mean, Preacher, he picked his moment. And he picked it well right at the end of the match. But you know what? It wasn't how you normally think this type of situation would go. He didn't just come in, hit one move, and TJ was down for the count. No,
No.
TJ, Preacher came in, hit that big move.
Yep.
TJ kicked out of it.
Yeah. Preacher thought it was going to be an easy victory. He thought he was going to come in, hit his move, done. TJ had other plans, but in the end, Preacher did have. TJ just went through that match, so TJ was not 100%. Preacher was. So that advantage went to Preacher.
And we got Dardar in the comments saying, thank you guys so much for the poster. I have it hung up in my room. You're very welcome, Dardar. Everybody make sure that you're dropping comments down below over the course of the podcast, because you will have the chance to actually win another signed poster from our next show.
Yep.
Yep.
Which we gave out. We gave out every one of them. Everybody was excited to have those posters. It was.
And if you've already won, since we're going into a new show here, if you've already won one, you actually have the chance to win one again.
Yep.
Just make sure you're commenting down below.
Yep.
All right. And then after we got back from our intermission, we had the first qualifying match for the new NGW Women's Championship.
Yep.
And unfortunately, Nyx had some travel issues, wasn't able to make it. So Lexi came out, was demanding that she get a bye.
Yeah.
But we actually had another competitor ready to go, and that was the debut of Serena Black.
Yep. Lexi came
Donde,
out.
we'll get to you in a bit.
Lexi came out claiming that she was responsible for Nyx not making it, and she's like, well, I just get a bye. And Phoenix had other plans. Phoenix said, we're not starting off this women's qualifying division with a bye. And she had a plan B, and that was Serena Black.
And what a plan B that turned out to be. That was an incredible first match for the qualifying of the NGW women's division. And Lexi Green came away with the victory there after she appeared to cast some sort of spell.
Yeah, I've seen
on
that.
Serena there in the middle of the ring.
Mm-hmm. I mean, if that's the way we're going to start the women's division here in 2025, I can't wait to see what this year has in store.
Yeah, I mean, that just kind of, goes to show, okay, if this is how we're kicking it off, it's just got to build from there.
Yep. So now we have one qualifier for the women's championship, which is Lexi Green. She moves on.
Yep. And we haven't found out who we're going to be having at our next show.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm entirely certain it'll be an absolute banger of a match as well.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And then after that, we had the tag team match, which you were not actually the referee for this time, Scott.
I decided, since there was a lot of controversy in the last time I refed, I went ahead and appointed another official for this match, and just to see if, what could happen. And, it came down. It looked like the Fam was going to win. They looked like they had TNT's number. Fam was going to win. And then once again, we had an interruption.
Yep. Great Heathen Army. They decided to come in, interrupt that match, cost the Fam the victory, and TNT walk away with the championships in hand again. But right there on the spot, Phoenix Quinn came out and made our match for Madness and Mayhem is going to actually be a tables, ladders, and chairs match for the NGW Tag Team Championships.
Yep.
And that's going to be between TNT, the Fam, and the Great Heathen Army.
Yep. I mean, she had to do something because, they got involved, and, Jason was going to pull something if they didn't get their match. So she went ahead and made it. TLC, 3 teams. We're going to have, this is going to be a match that I'm looking forward to now,
I mean, technically it'll be the second ever ladder match in NGW history. The first ladder match was for the Lightning Division Championship.
Yep.
But we're throwing in ladders and chairs. Yep. Marcel says, stupid Heathen Army, we got their number. Trust me. Well,
I mean, yeah, the Fam was a half a second away or more
from
reclaiming the tag team championship. and the Great Heathen Army came in and broke up that and caused a disqualification, and
Yeah.
injected themselves in the tag team picture now.
And after that, we had the match that I was looking forward to.
Yep.
And that was the fans bring the weapon match between Playboy and Ricky
Well, we had
Cruz.
one match before that. We had the NGW Heavyweight Championship between Mickey
Oh,
Midas and
that's
Dexter
right. Yep.
Roswell.
I'm sorry. I have my notes backwards here.
Yeah.
But yep. Dexter Roswell took on a debuting Mickey Midas for the
Yep.
NGW Heavyweight Championship. And, I about halfway through the match, I was thinking, Mickey's got this one. He's going to pull off what TNT pulled off.
Yep.
But Dexter dug deep and just pulled out a phenomenal win.
Yeah.
And then after the match, Dexter was trying to shake Mickey's hand. Mickey wouldn't do it. Dexter pulled Mickey into the ring. Mickey laid Dexter out and then shook his hand while he was laid out in the middle of the ring there. So I dare say it doesn't seem like things are settled between those two.
No, it seems like this feud is going to continue on with these two.
Yeah, but that was an absolutely incredible debut for Mickey Midas.
Yes, it was. I mean, Mickey came close to winning the NGW Heavyweight Championship.
And then, like I said, we also, Jonathan, an amazing match. Yeah, it was. And then we had Playboy taking on Ricky Cruz and the fans bring the weapon match. Bay says Playboy deserved what he got. Well, what he got was a bottle to the head.
Yeah. I mean,
and PYT was locked up in a cage, and somehow Virgil got out of that cage.
Yeah, but it didn't end up good for Virgil because he took a couple kendo shots from Ricky Cruz and then was handcuffed to the ring post for the remainder of the match.
But also, I mean, Albert just had to come out and run his mouth right before that match started and proclaim that since he was counsel for PYT, Phoenix decided that, well, that means he's a part of PYT, so he got locked in the cage right along with him.
Yeah, because he said he wasn't the counsel. He said he was a part-time member of PYT. So since he was a part-time member of PYT, all members of PYT were in that cage. So Halbert had to go in the cage too.
Yeah, which I mean, it's not the first time. He got arrested quite a while ago at one of the NGW shows, so not the first time he's been behind bars.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I mean, they brought everything they had in that match. I mean, they had a whole, almost like a buffet of weapons. I mean, they can use anything. They had boxing gloves. I seen a crutch. I seen
baking pans.
Yeah.
The aforementioned bottle, which I don't know where that come from.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I think that was Guido's drink for the evening.
Yeah, they did grab it from Guido. Guido was drinking on the job. So, which, you got to sometimes to get through the day.
I don't know why you would need to during that show. That was just an absolutely outstanding show.
I don't know. I mean, but yeah, they took that bottle and he smashed it right over Playboy's head.
Yeah.
And then the final nail in the coffin had those chairs stacked up and the RKO on the chairs finally put Playboy down.
Yeah.
And then after that match, Virgil decided to come and got free thanks to Halbert, I think. And Virgil got the same thing.
Yep. Oh. But yeah, what a night. And let me just say that it's great that we came out of that show already knowing at least one match for the next show.
Yes.
And that next show is going to be Madness and Mayhem Saturday, March 15th. Once again in Muscoda, Illinois. And we know that we're going to be having that table, ladders, and chairs match, but also Pretty Boy Floyd's final match.
Yep. Pretty Boy Floyd is wrapping up his career. About a month or so ago, he wrapped up his career at IWA Productions, had his final match at IWA Productions, and now this is going to be his final match in NGW.
Yeah, which, that it's always great to be there for somebody's final match, but it's also one of those you just wish they didn't happen. But
Yeah.
When it's time to leave the boots in the ring, it's time to leave the boots in the ring.
I mean, not Playboy. Pretty Boy Floyd's been doing this over 30 years.
Yeah.
He's had a long, illustrious career, and he's got to do a lot of stuff. And, it says finally time to pack it up.
And one last thing I want to talk about, since he's hanging out in the comments here, we had a little bit of an imposter there on Saturday.
Oh yeah,
little bit of a trademark infringement going on, didn't we?
Yep. I didn't know. I didn't know we had two camera guys.
Neither did I, but we had Donde come out, and Donde trying to take my position as the camera guy.
I mean, where did he get that camera? I mean, that camera hasn't been used in probably 40, 50 years.
The thing about that camera, Scott, and I didn't realize it at the time, is that's actually one of my cameras.
Oh, he stole it from you.
And I don't know how. I mean, we got to the arena well before he did. And then all of a sudden I'm sitting at my table, and then all of a sudden here come Donde with glasses on going, I'm the camera guy. And, Dale, you think he did an excellent job, Dale. You know what? After he got done messing around, I was actually able to find a place to get that old film developed. And let me show you this here, okay? These are some of the shots that Donde took with the camera. Absolutely nothing in focus. Nothing centered. It's just, I don't know. I don't think he's going to be taking my job there.
I think your job is safe for right now.
Yeah. I mean, now let me show you. This is my absolute favorite of the pictures he took.
Oh, that's a great photo.
That is just the most marvelous picture of a floor I've seen in my life.
I mean, I'm glad that he is such a great photographer. I mean, at least your job is safe for right now.
Yeah. But you know what, Donde, I appreciate that you offered me a ride to the show and everything, but I'm willing to teach you how to actually, take some good pictures. Tell you what, Scott, why don't one of these days here, you, me, and Donde go on a road trip and bring a camera along, and we give Donde some pointers on some good nature photography.
Have you been on one of the road trips with Donde?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, get ready for a long. You think it's going to take a long time to get the venue? Times 10. So if it takes an hour, it's going to be at least 10 or 11 hours before we get to the venue, because he has to stop every single time.
Yeah. But yeah, just an absolutely incredible time on Saturday. And if you missed it, the best thing that you can do is make sure you're there for our next show.
Yeah. I mean,
but what do you say we actually go ahead and talk to somebody else's perspective on the show from Saturday? We go ahead and talk with our guest tonight, Dir Kolthar, who has been IWA Productions Tag Team Champion, IWA Productions Light Heavyweight Champion, MMWA Junior Heavyweight Champion. He's been working in wrestling for more than 5 years. And the fun fact about DK is DK does not have a fun fact. He is all about the raid.
Yep. And he is actually the current, right now, he's the current one half of the IWA Productions Tag Team Champions.
Yes, he is. So let's go ahead and bring on the man of the hour, Dir Kolthar, the Modern Viking. Dir, thank you for joining us this evening, sir.
Oh, it's your pleasure. It's your pleasure to have me.
Let's get right into it. So on Saturday, we saw the Great Heathen Army come out and interrupt that match between Sid and Logan, which led into the tag team match that the Great Heathen Army was victorious in. Now, why? Why do you feel you need to interject
Why
yourselves in
what?
that match at that time?
It's simple. Didn't you hear Halbert? He made a deal with us, and we couldn't pass up the opportunity for golden glory. Unfortunately, Sid Holland and that Logan Ridge, pathetic excuse for a man, was just there. They just happened to be on the receiving end of what we wanted. And what we want is NGW gold to add to our resumes.
Well,
We got Dardar
It's
in the
not
comments
cheating,
saying that you're a
Dardar, if you
cheater.
get caught.
yeah,
I
I
mean-
mean, Jason Halbert does not have a very good track record. I know he promises you all this stuff, but you got to be on his good side. And if you're not on his good side, he kicks you to the curb like he did Dexter. I mean, he kicks everybody. He can promise you all this stuff, but, a lot of people have so-called drank the Kool-Aid of Jason Halbert, but a lot of people realize what he's all about.
Well, he hasn't done us wrong yet, so
Yet. That's
who
the word.
knows? We'll
Yet.
cross that path when the time comes.
Okay.
He did keep his promise with them. After they won, they now go to the front of the line for the NGW Tag Team Championships.
Yeah, but they also injected them into the tag team match while it was going on. They just decided to go ahead and make their presence known and interject themselves into a tag team match now.
Which, given the result of what happened there, it now becoming a three-way tables, ladders, and chairs match, do you think that DK, that was the right call to make, to interject yourselves into the match at that time, or you think it would have been better just to hold off and wait and face the victor?
It was the perfect time because you see, we gave the fam in TNT something to worry about. While they were too busy focusing on themselves, they paid no attention to us. So we made our presence felt to them to let them know that come the next show, you might not be leaving with those championships. That's I like what Reinhardt said right here. We were invited.
You guys were invited. We got Benny
We
going
were.
in for tag champs.
We're already tag champions. We need more.
Yep, current IWA tag team champions. And, I understand your goal if you want to keep adding to your collection. But you guys kind of seem to be going about it in the most, how to put this haphazard kind of way, though.
No. We're just striking at the right time and putting our faces where people want to see us. Who's going to stop us? We have everybody in NGW outnumbered 3-2. Who's going to find a third person?
Well, speaking of which, there was a little bit of an encounter there between Reinar and LVK.
No, that LVK guy, he attacked Reinar, and Reiner just put him in his place.
But
it was not cool of him to attack him. He wasn't even supposed to be there. I don't even know who that is, and he attacked Reinar.
He's a friend of the fam.
Well, the fam are idiots. The fam are idiots because now they got what? Another person to do what? Nothing. We're still going to beat them, and we're still going to beat TNT. Nobody's going to stop the raid that we are on right now.
Yeah, but we got Marcellus Knight in the comments going, he still got to pet that dog. He actually came out wearing Rixar's wolf headdress
No.
there.
They stole it. They stole our gear. They stole our gear, and we're going to make them pay for it at the next show. He didn't get to pet it. He stole it. And you don't steal from a Viking.
Oh, it seems like he had a
Marcellus is going to pay for it.
That. Marcellus got too pretty, that dog.
And he disrespected it by putting that stupid little hat on his ear.
So is that also part of the reason you came out was, say, a little bit of punishment against the fam for their actions?
Exactly. They invited us by stealing our stuff. That's not our fault they can't afford fur. Maybe if Phoenix would pay them better.
Dardar in the comments going, the fam is going to win. I mean, we've got... it's going to be a three-way match.
No, they're not.
Yeah. Well, see, now instead of getting a one-on-one tag team match, now you have another team to take on also. Now, the numbers are not in your favor right now with this 3-team TLC match.
And the last time I checked, the TNT had 2. The fam has 2. The Great Heathen Army has 3.
Yeah, and
it's
as part of it,
definitely not in their favor
match,
for next time.
I mean, there's no disqualifications in a table ladders and chair match.
That just means I can do whatever I want to make sure we leave as tag team champions.
Well, if Rickstar and Reiner are the ones who are actually in the ring, the one thing you can't do would be to make a pinfall or submission.
There is no pinfall or submissions in a TLC. You have to climb the ladder.
Yeah, but
that's true.
Even if you climb that ladder, you're not a part of the match. Even though you can interject yourself in the match, they have to climb the ladder and grab that tag team belt.
Do they though?
But what is that? That doesn't stop me from making sure any member of TNT or the fam doesn't climb that ladder.
See, Scott,
that's all I have to do is make sure they can't climb the ladder.
During a ladder match of the victor wasn't actually the one who grabbed the title.
That's what I'm trying to figure out. I mean, if DK would grab the title, would that make the Great Heathen Army tag team champions or not? That's what he could interject himself in the match, but I don't know.
You're the referee, Scott. I mean, how would you call that?
I mean, honestly, if it's a 2-on-2-on-2, I mean, I don't know. I would say no, but I mean, that's my opinion.
So,
I mean, he can assist in that as long as they grab the belt at one point.
Well, actually, we just got a little bit of word here on that to where we won't have to question that because apparently, according to Jason Halbert, all 3 members of the Vikings of the Great Heathen Army will be legal for that match.
Oh, okay. Well,
So now it comes down to, as DK said, you have 3 members of the Great Heathen Army, 2 members of TNT, and 2 members of the fam. But as we saw just last week, just on Saturday, LVK was there at the invitation of the fam.
Yeah.
So who's to say that the fam couldn't bring LVK in to be a part of with them?
Yep. I mean, it could be. LVK is not signed to NGW, so I mean.
So I mean, there's
we'll worry about that little peasant down the road.
But if you've got,
we'll worry about him down the road.
3-3-2. See, now it seems like TNT is at the disadvantage here.
Yep.
As just and I'm
I
not going
mean,
to presume to say that you have a strategy with it being TLC, but having not just a ladder match, but the chairs, tables, and everything thrown into it, it is just going to be an absolute chaotic event. And I dare say that the Great Heathen Army kind of thrives in chaos.
we do. We love it. Look, let's back up here. Let's back up here on how we all won gold in IWA Productions. That match was chaotic, but look who came out on top. This match is going to be chaotic, and the process is going to repeat itself. The Heathens will come out on top.
Judging by your history in IWA Productions, the Great Heathen Army tends to have an advantage in multi-man situations because that's exactly how you came out on top in IWA Productions.
Yep.
By being part of, it was you, Reinar, Rixar, and Maddie together in that Survivor Series style match. And you all worked together
And we
as
came
one
out on top.
cohesive element. So if you can work together as a
everything changes when you're inside the shield wall.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, all I got to do is cause chaos. Come the TLC match, come March Madness, all I have to do is cause chaos and make sure that it's my brothers in the shield wall climbing the ladder. And there's not anything Little Miss Phoenix can do about it. Halbert's already granted me what I wanted. So, skull to you, Earl Halbert. Plan is simple.
Marcel's saying, accept a Viking funeral when we're done with them.
No, the only thing you got coming is the worst day of your life, Marcellus. That's it. You're going to wish you never touched anything of ours. Why are you getting stuck in a wall?
It's Donde.
With Donde, there's no telling.
Wait a minute. What did Phoenix just say? Phoenix just said something.
Phoenix says Halbert has little authority when it comes to a match I authorized. He was the one who
he's already said it.
This position, we kind of got to go with what we're being told here, but
yeah. And unfortunately, with it being 3-on-2-on-2, with it being a TLC match, there's legally nothing I can do about it. I can't stop anybody.
But like we said, with LVK, it could be 3-on-3-on-2.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, it could be.
Which let's say for the sake of the argument, LVK does show up for the match and it does become 3-on-3-on-2. I mean, we know how Alex Steele and Marcellus Knight work together in the capacity of a tag team. We'd be putting in a third person that, they're not necessarily as familiar with working in the ring with. Meanwhile, over here, we've got the Great Heathen Army, who obviously work well together in all sorts of different situations. And then you have TNT, they've just got the two guys. So 3-on-3-on-2, but the 1-3 we know works well together. The other 3, we don't know how well they work together. It kind of seems like this whole setup is actually a little bit stacked in Great Heathen Army's favor.
Yeah. What did Reinar say a minute ago?
This is just
couldn't stop me getting my ass beat with my own knee brace.
Hey, it was a part of your attire, so technically it was legal.
Scott over here.
That was a bad call on your part, Scott.
Hey, it was technically legal because he did come out with it, and it was a part of his attire, anything a part of your tire technically is legal. But you guys did come out in the end, though. Regardless whether the knee brace or not, you guys were victorious in that Survivor Series match.
Indeed, we were. And it's just like we told everybody. That's what was going to happen.
Ryder's saying you need thicker glasses, Scott.
We were.
No. I think they're just fine.
I don't think that would help, Reinar. I don't think that would help.
You know, and if you think about it too, the Great Heathen Army, now that we know all three men are actually going to be legal, you have one climbing the ladder and the other two just protecting the ladder.
Exactly. Camera guy, you just leave the strategizing to the commander of the Great Heathen Army, Reinar the Hooligan. Don't be pitching any ideas. We don't need anybody knowing what we have planned. You leave it to Reinar the Hooligan to come up with the plan. Because so far, this plan worked out well for us.
You know, we got Dar in the comments saying that the heathens cheat, which, you know, I don't like to say that anybody cheats. I like to say everybody has creative strategies.
Ow. How did we cheat? How did we cheat? We didn't cheat. We didn't cheat.
You didn't get evicted from the match and didn't get called as you cheated. And, you know, that kind of decision will be left up to
I don't know. Maybe Phoenix is losing control of her show.
Benny saying Reinar always has an amazing plan. I mean, if he's the one who came up with the plan
He does.
for IWA
He does,
Productions,
Benny.
I would have to agree with that.
He did. And we walked out carrying gold.
And then on Saturday, you came out and demanded a fight, too. And you got one.
I did.
You went up
I
against
definitely
Dir
had a
Kolthar
fight with a very...
You know, I'd say, you know,
he was a true Drenga.
Good amount of offense in here. Look at this. Look at the height you got in this drop.
I should have brought my... I should have came up higher and kicked him in the face. His bald head was blinding me.
I mean, you know, I thought that you had it because you had him down on the mat. He was struggling to get back up, and you were in the corner, and you were ready to hit him with your trademark spear, is what it looked like. But
I was.
Unfortunately,
and then stupid Scott counted too fast.
But he got you with the knee as you came in for the spear. We got Scott standing there getting a nice view of that there.
What does Scott even do anymore?
Oh man.
Scott counted too fast.
Oh, I counted too fast, yeah. I mean,
it was a fast count.
That was not a fast count.
It was. I was there. I could barely hear it, but it was there.
Think you were knocked out. So how would you know if it was a fast count? Because you were laying on the ground.
Reinar told me it was a fast count.
Reinar told you.
We got Jason in comments saying it looks like Scott was out of position.
I was right there in position.
It should have been Scott taking that knee instead of me.
Well, you're the one who decided to pick the fight, and you got a fight brought to you. You're the one who asked for that.
I did ask for that fight. And I gave Jerry Morgan the fight of his life. Just like I do every time somebody steps in the ring with me at NGW.
And you also asked for the fight.
I give them the fight of their life. No, we got that gifted to us. Earl Halbert gifted us that opportunity.
Well,
Phoenix was just the
speaking of
one who decided
opportunity
to make
here,
it happen.
you, as we had in your fun fact, there is no fun fact. You're just all about the raid. And part of the
Exactly.
raid, my understanding, is the glory, but also, what you're coming away from the raid with, which we've seen, in IWA Productions, successful raids, you walk away with gold sometimes.
Exactly.
What do you say to,
I raided by myself.
What do you say to a little bit of a raid on shock therapy?
What is that?
Well, shock therapy is a little bit of a game that we like to play here. And the way it works is I ask you 3 questions. If you get 2 out of the 3 questions right, you actually win a prize for one of our viewers. And you would actually be playing for Benny Calvini tonight. So you can walk away and share the spoils.
All right.
All right.
Benny, an honorary heathen member.
All right. And all you have to do is get 2 out of 3 right. And you pride yourself in the raid and being a conqueror. So my questions for you this evening are questions on some of history's greatest conquerors. Are you ready?
Absolutely.
All right, here we go. First question. Who led the largest contiguous empire in history? A, Alexander the Great, B, Genghis Khan, C, Napoleon Bonaparte, or D, Julius Caesar?
A.
A, Alexander the Great, final answer?
Yes.
Unfortunately, the correct answer was B, Genghis Khan. So now you
I
have
saw
to
Great
get
in there.
the next
Thought he
2
was one of
questions
us.
right. If you
That was
get
rigged.
2 questions right, you win for Benny. You're not out yet. All right, ready for question 2? Here we go. Which Viking explorer is credited with discovering North America around the year 1000? A, Eric the Red, B, Leif Erikson, C, Harald Hardrada, or D, Rollo of Normandy?
Leif Erikson.
B, Leif Erikson?
I do know that one for sure. Yes.
And you are correct. The correct answer is B, Leif Erikson. So we're getting down to the wire. Next question. Winner take all. Well, this next question
Do or die.
determines if you've had a successful raid. Are you ready?
Yes. For Benny.
Which conqueror famously declared, "I came, I saw, I conquered"? Julius Caesar, Hannibal Barca, Attila the Hun, or Charlemagne?
I'm gonna have to go with Julius Caesar this time.
Have to go with Julius Caesar. All right, and Julius Caesar is the correct answer. 2 out of 3. You have won a signed poster at our next show for Benny. Congratulations, Benny. And actually, if you want to see a prime example of what you will be walking away with, we have this wonderful shot of one of our former winners, Jonathan Moffett, there with his signed poster and the talent who won it for him, the wonderful Mickey Midas. I just look at the size of that. So, congratulations, Dir Kolthar.
You're welcome, Benny. No one else signed that except the Heathens. Since you all are haters towards us.
But no, that. So you have this successful raid under your belt. Let's see if we can get another successful raid for you next month or in March. TLC.
Oh, it's going to
between
happen regardless.
Great Heathen Army and the Fam and TNT. That's just going to be absolutely outstanding.
It's going to happen.
I can't wait to see
and
it.
when it does, I'm going to laugh in Phoenix's stupid little face.
I mean, it's going to be a sight to behold. I can tell you that much. Donde doesn't know sign language. Donde, you don't need to know sign language to sign something, buddy.
Does Donde even know how to work a pen?
You know, I would
Because
have
clearly
to say he
Donde was a
does.
better cameraman than you.
You know,
Those shots
I don't
were
know about
excellent,
that.
Donde. No, they were excellent.
That was trademark infringement.
No, I don't see it.
There's
Don't
only
see
one
it.
the camera guy. Putting on glasses
Nope.
and carrying a camera around doesn't make you the camera guy.
Well, apparently putting on glasses and wearing a ref shirt makes you Scott Cross.
Yep.
Anybody can do it.
I mean, I guess painting your face makes you a Viking.
No. This is war paint, buddy. I'm always prepared for war.
But on that note, I want to thank you very much for joining us tonight, Dir Kolthar. And
Absolutely.
we'll look forward to seeing you at March Mayhem. And I hope that the raid will go well for you, sir.
It definitely will. Reinar has time to plan.
All right. You have yourself a wonderful night.
You too, Skull.
Well.
All right. Well, that's going to be just something absolutely incredible.
Yeah. I mean, now that we know it is 3-on-2, the advantage does go to the Great Heathen Army having that extra person in that match now.
That it does. And
what is this? What is this?
Preacher,
I bust my hump, defeat the monster savage to have an opportunity to fight for the right to fight, defeat Logan Ridge to get the right to fight, cash in my opportunity, win this gold, and you bring on the maybe it's Maybelline Vikings instead of me?
Well,
what do you have to say for yourselves?
Well,
I have yet to receive an invite to this podcast, but thankfully I have connections and they pulled some strings and I found my way in anyways.
Well,
I want to hear from you guys.
Well, you did have an invitation. It was in the mail, so it was coming.
I didn't get anything in my mail.
Well, but since you are here now, let's talk about that. You took your right to fight and you came in at a perfect opportunity and cashed it in on the new Lightning Division champion, TJ Kellis, who just won. And now you are the NGW Lightning Division champion.
Don't short sell it. Just because I cashed in when I did. TJ is a tough battle.
Yep, TJ is.
But I do everything with conviction. And I choose my timing. And I chose the correct timing to cash in my right to fight. And I fought hard to get the opportunity to cash that in.
Yep. But you timed it extremely well. Now, when you came in, you didn't even give him the chance to touch that time.
I did not want his filthy hands on the gold that I was bringing home for the gospel. This belongs.
Then
I have been building this gospel for many, many months now. This gospel of damnation, piece by piece, member by member. This is the first of many you will see coming to my gospel.
Speaking of which, you've got yourself and Lexi Green and Brujo Shaman.
Oh, that's just the start. It's just a start. See, the fortunate thing about all people is they all have a little bit of darkness inside of them. TJ Kellis has some darkness inside of him. I just need to break things open and let some of that darkness out. You will see some surprising things as I build this gospel. And you will see
And this all
many
started
people.
after you turned against Savage.
Yes. Savage is a liability. My career at NGW was going nowhere under Savage's guidance. Loss after loss after loss. I turned the ship around and I rectified the problem. And I eliminated the cancer that was preventing me from reaching my goals. And I believe this is proof that I made the right choice to eliminate the tumor that was stuck to me in NGW.
At Forsaken, you defeated Savage in a casket match. We haven't seen him since.
You won't. You will not see him ever again. I have buried him deep and far away from the light. Don't look to see Savage ever again.
And now, I mean, that was also when we first really saw you team up with Lexi and Brujo.
Yes. They have much darkness inside of them. Brujo, a deep, dark shaman. Lexi. Oh, Lexi. The ancestors give her great guidance. And I believe she will bring great strength and great guidance to what we plan to do.
It's obvious you've been building this for quite some time, because the second time that we see Lexi in NGW, she's already joined forces with you.
Mm-hmm.
You must have gotten into her ear the first time that we saw her.
Oh, I didn't have to get in her ear. She has similar visions, similar conquests ahead, and she just knows where the power lies. My gospel of damnation is slowly becoming one of the largest in independent wrestling. She knows where the championships will settle, and she's just getting on board.
And you seem to be positioning yourselves very well, because you captured the Lightning Division Championship. We have Lexi Green, who is successful in the first qualifying match for the new NGW Women's Championship. You're already gearing up to just do a clean sweep and take the gold.
Absolutely. We spend hours, days, nights toiling and working through the thought processes that will do this for us. We do not make stupid decisions, and we do not utilize poor timing. You will see as it unfolds.
Now, there's quite a few people actually within the NGW Lightning Division. There's TJ Kellis, whom you defeated for that. There'd be Tobias Storm. There is Shrapnel, who's been out on an injury. And then, there's plenty of other people who could, fit into that division. Are you worried about who your next challenger may be?
I have no worry. I have the strength of my gospel, and the darkness will always snuff out the light. I have no fear of anyone that wants to attempt to take this from me. I have many people in many powerful places, and I will ensure that this belt stays where it belongs.
And I also have to ask you, at Centralia Slam, after you won the right to fight contract, you had a little bit of a face-off with Phoenix Quinn, who you were previously associated with her in Savage, and you shoved her right in the face. Seemed like an absolute rebuke to her and everything that she stood for at the time.
Phoenix had an idea of what Savage and I would bring to the table for her. Phoenix arranged what became the Dark Omen. Phoenix put me in a situation where I lost alongside Savage over and over. Phoenix is the root, the cause that led to me having to do what I had to do to get rid of Savage. I will not let her interfere in my path again. And for that, I simply excused her out of my way.
You have anything to say, Scott? You look a little
Well, I
shaken
mean,
there, actually.
it's just, you know, I seen the Gospel of Damnation getting bigger and bigger every time I see them, and it just, if they're, I mean, it's almost a little scary to see what they're gonna do because you never know. I mean, I never thought that Lexi Green would be joining them, and when she did, it just made them even more powerful. And now that they got the Lightning Division, I mean, I don't know.
Only the beginning.
I don't know if anybody can stop them.
No one will. We have so many more in numbers than you are even aware. But you will see as it unfolds.
That's absolutely ominous right there.
Yeah.
And I'm also curious as to who your connection is to get the link to actually be able to join us.
I don't kiss and tell. I have my connections, and I have people that see what we do in the dark and will assist us along the way to make sure we obtain everything that we have earned and everything that is ours.
See, it makes us. You're saying so much with so little right now. As you're making it clear that you have a plan. You're making it clear that it's more than just you and Lexi and Brujo. But you're not giving it. You're not giving us any. You're leaving us in just as much suspense as you left us after you won the right to fight contract into. We didn't know when you were going to cash in. We knew you were going to. We didn't know when. You are a man who has a plan and seems like you have set down this roadmap that you're following, and you've put in place all the little pawns on the side of the tracks to enable that everything's going to go exactly as you want it to.
Absolutely. All good plans have to have every contingency thought out, every possibility answered. And we've done that.
I mean, do you see anybody on your horizon that could be a roadblock in your way?
I see no roadblocks. For every potential roadblock, we have a plan. We are
I
numerous
believe it.
and we are powerful.
So, man, it just keeps getting more interesting, don't you think, Scott?
Yep.
2025 is already kicking off. We got Preacher promising a lot more to come. And we've already seen him come and capture the Lightning Division Championship, as I said, without TJ even getting to lay his hands on it.
Yep. And now we got Lexi Green embarking in this women's qualifying tournament. I mean,
Well, you know what they say. Nobody's afraid of being alone in the dark. They're afraid of not being alone in the dark. And that is where we reside.
We got Brujo, who could very easily enter into the heavyweight championship scene.
Yeah.
So I can easily.
I mean, yeah. I mean, we could see the Gospel of Domination take over NGW. I mean, you know, we could have Brujo taking over the heavyweight. We could have Lexi Green with the women's division. And now we got the Lightning division. I mean,
Lexi Green will have the women's division.
I mean, she's already starting off strong with that first qualifying match. And whoa, and just like what?
Just like that, he's gone.
I mean, he came unannounced.
And leave.
He came unannounced, and I'm still trying to figure out how he got into the podcast because I don't know. Yeah. He just like straight up disappeared like that. He popped in out of nowhere. I wasn't ready for Preacher tonight.
Neither was I, and we have him insinuating very heavily that he's got more up his sleeve than he's letting us see right now.
I mean, he seems like he's got more people waiting. And
yeah, well, we know that it's him and Lexi. We saw him and Lexi on Saturday.
We haven't seen Brujo anywhere. No, we have not seen Brujo. But
we haven't seen Brujo since Forsaken.
Yes. But Brujo, just like Preacher, could show up out of nowhere.
Yeah. And at this point, now the next question becomes who's he going to bring with him?
I mean, it seems like they have a plan for everything that's going to happen, and it seems like they have all the answers to all the questions that are going to happen this year. So I guess we're just going to have to sit back and wait because they're not going to tell us.
We got plans on top of strategies. Man, March is shaping up to be something different.
Yes. And I mean, you know, they've already started with Preacher winning the Lightning Division champion.
Yeah, we've got him. We've got Preacher as Lightning Division champion. We've got TNT as our tag team champions, and we know what TNT is going to be up to in March Madness.
Yes.
Or Madness and Mayhem, sorry.
Yes.
And we know what this is just going to be another fun time, isn't it, Scott? To where we're just going to be sitting here going, okay, here's what we know right now. We know it's Pretty Boy Floyd's last match. We don't know who he's facing. No. And we know that the Fam, TNT, and the Great Heathen Army are going to be involved in a TLC match.
Yeah, that's all we know.
That's all we know right now. We've got Preacher coming, interrupting us this evening, implying great things are coming for him.
Yeah. We don't know what's in store for the heavyweight. We don't know what's in store for the Lightning division. We don't have any answers right now. So it's going to be one of those things where we're just going to have to sit and wait. You know,
and
we don't know.
Still have Playboy holding the right to fight contract for the heavyweight championship as well.
Yes. I mean, that could be a factor too, because can we see what happened to TJ happen to Dexter?
We very easily could. I mean, we don't know who Dexter is going to be facing.
Yep. And
And
like
there's
when we had Playboy on, he said that PYT was always one step ahead of everybody. And he said 2025 is going to be the year of PYT.
yeah, we have Preacher saying essentially the same thing.
Yeah.
Dexter also was proclaiming that 2025 is going to be his. It can't be everybody's year,
No,
unfortunately.
it cannot be everybody's year. I mean, everybody's got a plan. It's just now we got to sit here and wait and see what's going to happen.
Well, luckily, we're not going to have to wait too terrible long.
No.
As I said, Madness and Mayhem, Pretty Boy Floyd's final match. Saturday, March 15th in Muscuda, Illinois. I mean, we don't have set up for pre-sales yet, but the second that we do, we will post it on Facebook, and better go ahead and get your tickets then.
I mean, hopefully next week we'll find out more information, but I think it's going to be one of those things where each week we might learn a little bit, we may not. We don't know.
Yeah, well, we're going to find out what we've got coming down the pipes with everybody else here, Scott.
Yep.
But I want to go ahead and thank everybody for joining us this week. And thank everybody for posting your comments in. I want to go ahead and once again offer congratulations to Benny for being our winner this week of Shock Therapy. And also want to extend thanks to our wonderful sponsors, Nick's Home Decor, Bi-State Termite and Pest Control, Needful Things Boutique in Muscuda, Illinois, Laser Monkey Engraving, and the Ringside Buffet in Mount Vernon, Illinois. And man, I'm still riding high from Saturday, Scott.
Yes.
But yeah, what a weekend! And I'm already sitting here thinking, March, how can we top what had just happened?
I mean, that was our first show of 2025. I mean, if that's what we're setting 2025 up for, March is going to be even more better than in this winter, which I don't see how it could top it.
No, neither do I, but we're going to be having more match announcements coming up here, I'm sure, very soon.
Yeah.
But I want to thank again everybody for joining us. I want to thank everybody who came out and saw us live in Muscuda, Illinois this past weekend. And I want to say thank you to everybody who's going to be seeing us live again in March.
Yep.
Everybody have a good night, and we will see you next week.